One thing that sucks about being black is that you're not allowed to just talk about yourself. If you talk about yourself, you're also talking about all black people, or all black women if you're a woman. Well, I'm not. This video is about me. First off, I want to say that I'm very happy about the natural movement that's been taking place in the last couple of years or so. I've been natural for about 10 years myself, had locks for about 8, and I'm the happiest with my hair that I've ever been. As you listen to this video, just remember that I am natural, which you will see in a few weeks. I am not some permed up or weaved up chick trying to make excuses for why I can't go natural. That said, I feel there are two things that get glossed over when talking about natural hair. But I'll get to those two things in a minute. I think there needs to be more discussions about black hair that maybe aren't so comfortable to have. A lot of times when we discuss natural hair or black hair in general, we talk around certain topics like they don't exist. Or if we do talk about those topics, we talk about them using shaming tactics. They try to make people feel guilty for the way they feel, and that's how things never get resolved. There's a chick on YouTube, her channel is called High Maintenance, and she has made some of the realest videos I've ever seen about natural hair. She's very open and honest about the frustration she feels about dealing with her hair. And I think that topic needs to be talked about more, and we need to stop brushing it under the rug. Yes, it's an uncomfortable topic, but just because we don't talk about it doesn't make it go away. So, I'm going to talk about my hair experiences and my history with my hair, and we'll just see where this goes. Perhaps some healing will occur. But first, let me do a little disclaimer. I am very thankful for the mother that I have. She was a very good mother, especially taking into account that she was a single mother and there were a few other mistakes that she made, but nonetheless, she was a very good mother. Parents are human just like everybody else, and they don't always do or say the best thing. Regardless of how good a parents your parents were, I'm sure they made some mistakes with you as well. So this video isn't about blaming my mom or putting her on blast. I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from. Now that I got that out the way, I shall start. I'll just let everybody know right now, my hair pisses me off. It pisses me off very badly. But before you get started with the judging and the shaming tactics, it's probably not for the reasons that you think. Now I know some of you Afrocentric people out there or some of you natural hair Nazis are chomping at the bit to start giving me suggestions, but don't say anything until you listen to this entire video, and don't say anything unless you address all of my points. I've already heard what most of you have to say, and you dance around the 2 points that I'm going to bring up. So if you're not going to address my points, I don't need to hear from you. I'm making this video because I know there are other people out there who feel like me, and this needs to be talked about. Alright, so here we go. My mother has curly hair, and just to give you an idea kind of what her hair is like, if you're familiar with the group called LMFAO, one of them has like really curly hair and then one of them kind of has the kinkier, wilder hair. My mom's hair is probably kind of halfway between those two, but leaning a little bit more towards the curly side. The only drawback about her hair is that it's very thin, and it has been all her life, but other than that, she has a very beautiful head of hair. My dad has your typical kinky hair. I don't know if it's 4C or 4D, I don't know, it's just your average kinky hair. When I came out of the womb, I had slick hair like my mom. And then I think one day she washed it, and then the hair I was meant to have for the rest of my life appeared. Long story short, I've got kinky hair. I don't remember the first time my mom said this to me or specifically how it happened, but she has expressed to me several times that she wished that my hair was like hers. Now I know some of you are saying, oh, well there you go, that's your problem. Oh, no, that's not the problem. It might be part of it, but we've not gotten to the real problem yet. One of my earliest memories is of my mom doing my hair. She'd be sitting on the couch and I'd be sitting on the floor. My mom was the type of chick who didn't like to do hair. Like, she didn't like to do her own hair, let alone somebody else's. She disliked doing hair so much that she would want to get done with it as quickly as possible. And she would try to give me hairstyles that she thought would last 2 to 3 days. But anyway, my mom would be doing my hair and she would be sitting on the couch and I'd be sitting on the floor. And at a certain point during the process of doing my hair, she would just get really frustrated with it and want to get done with it. And she would just start raking through it trying to hurry up. And that hurt. And I would stick my hand up there to try to shield my little head, and she would tap my hand with the comb. She was like, move it, move this hand. And she wasn't saying it in an angry way. There was no anger at all. She was just really frustrated and wanted to get done. So basically, when she was doing my hair, sometimes I had to choose between a hurting scalp and a hurting hand. Oh, well there's your problem right there. Yeah, that explains a lot more of it, but we're not done yet. As soon as my mom felt I was old enough, she dumped the responsibility of me doing my own hair onto me. That was age 10. Some of you might be saying, well, I've been doing my hair since age 7, so what you complaining about? Well, good for you, but I wasn't ready. Some of the impatience for doing hair was transferred from my mother to me, so I didn't feel like doing my hair either. But I had to buckle down and go ahead and do it because if I went to school with messed up hair, the kids were going to let me have it. I remember the ritual I would have to go through every Sunday to do my hair. First I would wash it, which would take at least 45 minutes, if not an hour. Why did it take so long? Because I was 10. And I washed it for real. Like I didn't just put the shampoo in there and wash it out. No, I would shampoo it up, I'd wash it out, then shampoo it again. Then I'd put my little conditioner in there and let it sit for a while. Sometimes I even get under the dryer. It was a real hair wash. So then after I washed the hair, of course I had to dry it. I would take my towel and just rub it all over my head. And it may seem like common sense, but I don't think I realized back then that, doing that with the towel was putting more tangles in it. But anyway, after I had dried my hair enough so it wouldn't drip constantly, I would then have to section it off with rubber bands and then go through and comb out all the tangles in each section. After I got each section combed out, I would go get the dryer to finish drying the hair completely. I had one of those blow dryers with the comb on it, so I would just take down a section and then comb it till it was dry. After drying the hair, I would oil my scalp and oil the hair itself some, and then I would get the pressing comb and press it. Do you know how many hours I just described? Well, I don't know either. All I know is it just about took me the whole day to do my hair. The whole day just to do hair. Do you know how many things a person can get done in a day, and all I accomplished that day was my hair? You have no idea how much that pisses me off. And that brings me to the first point that some natural hair Nazis want to gloss over. And by natural hair Nazis, I'm referring to women who want to condemn other women who choose to perm or wear weaves. Now, I'm not too big on the weave thing, but I'm totally supportive of perms. But anyway, these natural hair Nazis want to act like what you do to your hair is a moral issue, instead of just a matter of choice. I'm talking about women who have attitudes kinda like Black Indigos. I liked a lot of her videos, but I really didn't like how she went in hard on women who chose to perm their hair. You shouldn't demonize people's choices when it's not a moral issue. Now, I'm not talking about people like, well, there are several very popular channels here on YouTube that focus on natural hair. On one channel in particular, the chick is very honest about how long it takes her to do her hair. She doesn't just gloss over it like a lot of other people like to do. I think she's doing a very good thing because there are women out there who want to learn how to take care of their hair, and I guess they don't care how much time it takes. And people have told me, oh, if you just learn the proper way to take care of your hair, it'll be a lot easier. No it won't. Not for me. Because quote-unquote properly taking care of your hair takes too long. If I spend that long on my hair, I'll get physically sick. And that's not a euphemism or an exaggeration or a joke. If I start to mess with my hair for too long, like around 30 or 45 minutes, I start to get a feeling like, have you ever done something wrong and you're waiting for your punishment to be handed down? That anxious feeling you get? That's the feeling I get when I mess with my hair for too long. I'm not joking. The pissed offedness about my hair has actually built up a physical reaction in me, and I can't really bypass it, and it gets worse and worse as I get older. And I know there's nothing physically wrong with me. I know it's all psychological. Maybe I need some shock treatments or something, but I haven't been able to work through it. Yet. But anyway, the solution for me hasn't been learning how to take care of my hair. My solution has been locks. It cuts down my hair doing time so that it's more comparable with people who don't have this type of hair. Not only that, but locks also allow me to wear the hairstyles I want to wear. So I got the time issue taken care of, but that in turn created another problem, which is expense. I do not maintain my own locks. I wouldn't be able to maintain them right now even if I wanted to because they're not traditional locks and you have to take a class to learn how to do them. But anyway, it cost me about $90 every 6 weeks to maintain my locks. And the longer my hair gets, the more it costs. When Chris Rock's movie Good Hair came out, some people were scoffing at the fact that black women spend multiple billions of dollars on their hair every year. And I guess some people had such a problem with it because they assumed that all that expense goes to perms and weaves. Well, I'm plunking down $90 every 6 weeks and I'm natural. And also, actually, me paying to have somebody else maintain my locks only solves the time problem as far as me having to spend time on my hair. I still have to sit in the chair at my hairdresser's house for 3 to 4 hours while she maintains it. It seems to me that if you have a certain type of hair, you're either going to spend a lot of time on it or a lot of money. Some people have to do both. Now I know somebody out there saying, "Nuh-uh, I got natural hair and I can do my hair in 5 minutes." Uh-huh. And I'll bet you have a hairstyle that I'm not interested in wearing. I'll wear twists, I'll wear twist outs, I'll wear braids, I'll wear locks. I am not interested in wearing an afro, a fade or any type of boy cut, or the type of locks where you just let the hair lock itself and you don't really maintain it in an orderly fashion. Now this is the point where I want to repeat my disclaimer from the beginning of the video. I am talking about me. If you like to wear afros and shave your head and wear funky locks, that's fine. I don't. I'm not talking about you, and this is not a condemnation of your choice. I'm talking about what I want for me. And for those of you who are wondering, well, why don't you want to wear an afro? I don't feel I really have to explain that. I also don't like wearing high heel shoes. I don't have to tell you why. I don't have to give you any other reason other than I don't want to. It's not me. I mean, would you shave a mohawk into your head? I mean a real mohawk, like shaved in. Would you do that? Most of you wouldn't. Why? You don't have to tell me why. You're just not interested in that hairstyle for yourself, and that's all that needs to be said. The closest I've ever gotten to wearing an afro was when I used to wear my hair kind of like Scary Spice, which was basically a twist out. But as far as having a circular orb of hair around my head, not interested. And again, I don't have to explain that. And again, if you wear your hair like that, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. But anyway, the solution to the time and money problem that I talked about is not to go out and get some hairstyle I don't want. Now, somebody is probably going to bring up the fact that even if you have permed or altered hair, it can still take a long time to do it. That is true. So really what we're talking about here is the whole experience of having quote-unquote black hair. One funny thing or interesting thing about having this conversation with a natural hair Nazi or an Afrocentric person is that they want to run straight to their typical, oh, you're just brainwashed type of arguments. It's this European society that we live in that told you your hair was not acceptable. That's why you don't like it. And they'll say this totally ignoring the points I made about time and money. Or they'll try to sell me on some hairstyle I don't want. And the shaming tactics never end. I even had this conversation with Pete a few months back, and he was saying things like, black women want their hair to look like white women. That's why they have such issues with it. Okay, well, we're not talking about black women at large, we're talking about me, and I don't believe I said anything about wanting straight hair, or wanting to change the texture of anything, or wanting to change the color of anything. I believe I talked about time and money. So then he showed me a couple of pictures of what I could do with my hair, and in the pictures the women appeared to be sporting twist outs. So I told them, well, first of all, in order to have a twist out, you have to twist up your hair, which doesn't take a whole hell of a lot of time, but it does take time. But there's a bigger problem. If you have a certain type of hair and you wear your hair like that every day, it's going to dry out and start breaking off. Or it'll never grow past a certain point. If you have a certain type of hair and you want to grow long hair, you're going to have to wear protective styles most of the time. But still, to even get to that point, you have to deal with the washing, the conditioning, the detangling, the moisturizing, the massaging, the praying over, the making love to of your hair. And you know, in the grand scheme of things, we got so many things to do in life from day to day. We gotta work, cook, clean, take care of kids, spend time with the hubby, run errands. With so many other things to do in life, I can't justify spending hours on my hair. For me, it's a waste of time. Again, if you want to spend hours on your hair, that's fine. Locks have really been the best solution for me because even though I have to sit in a chair 3 to 4 hours, if you divide that up over 6 weeks, it's not that bad. And add to that the 10 to 15 minutes I spend a day styling the locks. So again, even though I found a solution for the time thing, I'm still paying out the anus. Oh, well, maybe your loctician is overcharging you. No, that's the going rate for these type of locks. When I was talking to Pete, he also gave the suggestion of locks, but just like I'm not interested in wearing an afro, a lot of women are not interested in locks. And they don't have to explain why. Again, the solution to the so-called problem is not to go out and get hairstyles we don't want. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Thanks for listening. Leave your comments.